Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name's Sarah if you're new here, and if you are new here, I am a full-time content creator. So today is going to be a video about how to stay consistent on social media. There's going to be a lot of mindset tips and also some applicable tasks that we can do to get on track to be consistent on social media or life in general. How many of you have been there where you start, you stop, you start, you stop again? I mentioned this in my last video, how to become a content creator, that every single time you start and you stop, you really hinder your growth, and it actually is going to take you much longer to see the results that you're looking for. And I know sometimes it feels like there's no way out of it, but I promise today's video answers some questions that you may have about it and helps you figure out a way out. So I want to start off with the idea of everything is your fault, and that sounds crazy. Everything is your fault, but I want to start off with that because that is a huge mindset shift, and it really allows you to actually take control of everything in your life. Every cause has an effect, and once we take accountability for this, we can really take control. It's good to know that this is all on you, and you don't have to worry about other people getting in your way. You are your own worst enemy. You are the one that's in your way, but you are also the one that can get you out of this. So that is the silver lining to that. In order to be successful in anything in life, you really have to know yourself on a pretty deep level, and this means knowing your patterns, what gets you going, what stops you. So let's start with why you aren't being consistent, and let's take responsibility for our failings so we can take ownership of our successes. Whenever you do this cycle of starting and stopping, does it almost feel like you hit a wall? If so, that is what we call resistance. And the resistance is coming from limiting beliefs. And two crazy things that you have to understand is that you could have a deep-seated fear of either failure or, surprisingly, a fear of success. Most people have one or both of these things at the same time. The resistance that we hit is coming from the limiting beliefs that we have. And I'm gonna share with you some of the limiting beliefs that majority of us have. The first one is the biggest one, and I think everyone has felt this at one point or another in their life: imposter syndrome. You think you're not good enough. I'll go into this one a little bit more because it is so common, because there is a logical sort of reason for it. If you are an aspiring content creator or a beginning content creator, my guess is you are probably the only one in your family or in your friend group or person that you know personally that is diving into this industry, into this career choice. So there is going to be a lot of unknown, and there's going to be a lot of doubt because there is so much unknown. It is totally normal to feel this way, and as a content creator, I want you to start looking at yourself as a business person, as an entrepreneur. And when you are an entrepreneur, you are someone who is sort of leading the way. You're paving the way. There's no blueprint, there's no rule book, there's no guidebook for this. Technically, everyone's journey is going to be different. There is no one right way. There's a lot of gray area. So there is going to be a lot of doubt that's naturally going to come because you may feel not fully equipped. And I say this to say that you will never be fully equipped when you are the first person going on the trek, and that is okay. You're gonna have to get used to that feeling of not knowing what to do and continuing to do things anyways. Trial and error and experience is going to be your best learning tool. So it's okay to not know, and it's okay to doubt yourself because you don't feel equipped. As you go, you will learn and you will get better over time. Limiting belief number 2: life is hard. And although this is a limiting belief, it is true. Life is hard. But here's the thing: life is hard for everyone. It's hard in different ways for everyone, but it is hard for everybody. So don't let this be your excuse. Limiting belief number 3: I'm too old or I'm too young. This is really just a fear of success. You are justifying your inaction by placing a limitation on your life by thinking you're either too old or too young to do something. The world is based on your actions, not your age. Limiting belief number 4: you're comparing yourself and you believe that others are better than you. This is a severe form of perfectionism. And the best way to get over this is to think progress over perfection. You guys have heard me say this many times. It's a mantra that I live by. Progress over perfection. Don't compare yourself. Comparison is the thief of joy, especially when you're comparing yourself to other people online. So just focus on yourself and not other people. Limiting belief number 5. Limited resources, and resources are typically time or money. When you're young, you have unlimited time, limited money. When you're older, you have limited time, unlimited money. And if you don't like it, you can do something about it when it comes to both of these things, time or money. Whether you think so or not, it's not an actual limitation, there's just a management issue. Limiting belief number 6. This is another huge one that I hear a lot of people say. Too saturated. This is a scarcity mindset. That's all I'm gonna say about that. There is more than enough room for everyone. Everyone's greatest asset is that there is only one you. What more can I say than that? There is room for everybody, I promise. Let me know which ones you guys struggle with the most. I know mine are definitely imposter syndrome and perfectionism. I know for a fact that I struggle with these quite often, and this also just goes to show that no matter where you are at in your journey, you're gonna struggle with these limiting beliefs. What you have to remember is that these are just thoughts that limit your belief. They're not actually true statements, so don't let them fool you. This is what I mean by knowing yourself and being self-aware. I'm to the point where I know what my limiting beliefs are and I know how to overcome them, and I know that they're just a hurdle in my way. I'm in control. I can take steps to override these. So that's what I mean by getting to know yourself, becoming self-aware, so you know what these roadblocks are in your way and you can learn how to maneuver around them, because it is possible for everybody. Because we all struggle with limiting beliefs at one time or another. They're consistent, they don't go away, I promise. And because you're struggling with limiting beliefs, you're most likely also struggling with procrastination. And when you're procrastinating, it's because you're being hit with resistance, and the resistance is quite literally these limiting beliefs that you have. These thoughts in your mind are causing you to not take action on your dreams. Now that we know we all have these same exhausting, frustrating, limiting thoughts, let's create an action plan on how you start being consistent in your life and on social media. First, let's analyze your goals. What are your goals with social media? What type of goals have you been making for yourself? A lot of people start with a metric goal, and I'm here to crush that right now. Do not start with a metric goal, because I'm telling you right now, you are not in control of metrics. You are not in control of likes. You are not in control of followers or anything. You cannot control what other people do. So making that your goal is definitely putting a big hinder on your growth and your morale. So let's just toss that idea aside, because we want to make goals that we are in control of. So one thing you're in control of is your time and your money. So how many times can you commit to posting per week, per month on social media? And remember, you don't have to go big or go home when it comes to this. If you are a beginner content creator, make it realistic. Not to gain 1 million followers overnight or to post every single day. The goal is to be consistent here. So we have to set up reasonable goals that we know we can commit to. You can start small and grow over time. This is not how it's going to be forever. So do what works. Consistency does not equate posting every day. Those two are not the same thing at all. Being consistent is having the same schedule and following it every single week. That's consistency. Even if it's just posting 1 day a week, but you post the same day, the same time, every single week for the month. Now that you're committing to being consistent, another thing that's probably stopping you, that also stops me, is you either feel like you have no ideas or you have so many and you don't even know where to start. If you're on this end where you feel like you have 0 ideas, that's probably false. You're gonna need to sit down with yourself and really think about this, because there's no way that you have no ideas. Not All ideas at this point are good ideas. So anything you can think of, anything that comes to mind, write it down. This is gonna be your idea. And remember, progress over perfection. And if you are on this side where you feel like you have too many ideas, you don't know where to start, this is me, and it's really frustrating being in this place because when you have so many ideas, everything feels really jumbled in your head and it almost feels overwhelming to take action because you have so much going on in your head. So I'm gonna highly encourage you to have a brain dump session and take all of your ideas out of your head and put them onto paper or in the computer so you can get them out and you can kind of clear your head. Once you take all of the ideas out of your head, start making a list and tackling them one at a time. When you make your goal, do something that you know you're going to be capable of. This is going to give you a sense of accomplishment and a huge sense of morale on keeping the momentum going for yourself. Those two things, I cannot stress, are so important when you're first starting. And I say do this for a month because it does take 21 days to create an actual habit. And just like when you're procrastinating, you're hitting that wall, you're hitting resistance, just like in the gym when you hit resistance, you need to grow stronger. You need to grow your muscles so you can push back against the resistance. And the only way to grow your muscles in anything, whether it's your content creator creation muscle or your actual muscles, is repetition and consistency. So that's why we want to do this for a month. We want to do this for at least 21 days. And if you're not posting 21 days in a row, I'm going to highly encourage you to at least record something 21 days in a row just to get used to filming content. That won't have to be your schedule forever, but it will get you in the habit of doing something. A great book for you to read is Atomic Habits. I highly recommend this book. It will show you how to incorporate habits and why you maybe haven't been following your habits. And remember, discipline is actually the highest form of self-love that there is. There are so many things in life that we push off because they're hard in the moment, but they actually end up being really good for us in the long run. And I will tell you this right now, as a content creator, you cannot work when you're motivated only. Motivation, it is a feeling, it is fleeing at that. So you cannot work around when you're motivated. There's gonna be many times where you're gonna have to push through and you're not motivated. So do not use motivation as your tool to do things. You're either gonna have the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. Which one are you gonna wanna live with? That's the end. I hope these tips helped you and this allowed you to make an action plan to be more consistent in the upcoming months on your journey as a content creator. Like I said, it doesn't matter where you're at in your journey, these limiting beliefs will always pop up. So after doing this for 1 month, after creating a plan and sticking to it and being disciplined for 1 month, I want you to check in with yourself and see if you stopped, why did you stop? What were the thoughts that kept coming up? And really just analyze what this month was like for you. This is going to be such a great way to learn about yourself. And like I mentioned before, you have to know yourself as a content creator. You are essentially an entrepreneur, and entrepreneurs are business people. All successful business people are very self-aware. So take this month to not only be consistent, but also if you weren't able to be consistent, really take a look at why, which limiting beliefs are getting in your way, and what can you do to help those limiting beliefs. If you want a video on how to combat limiting beliefs, let me know in the comments. And if you learned something from this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. It'll really help me, you guys. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.